Okay, I baru je tekan button live.
Oh, kita dah layak.
Ya.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam Zoila, Ismaz, apa khabar?
Khabar baik. Khabar baik. Demam sikit, suara sengau.
Suara sengau.
Sengau.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Are we live now? I think so. Can you all check?
Yes.
Yang mana boleh check kan?
Kita share dulu lah.
Kita share like. Share like.
Share like, love. Malam ni dia cakap orang putih. We have to talk in English.
Not really.
No, you sound English.
I'm Malaysian, I'm bilingual. Boleh cakap Melayu, boleh cakap bahasa utara. Boleh cakap English.
Jangan
asal dari mana asal?
Asal Penang.
I'm done.
Penang. Penang mana Penang? Penang mana Penang?
Dekat Bayi Lepas.
Habis.
Why you from Penang as well?
Yes.
Which part?
Orang kampung. Was born in Kuala Batas, Beramperai.
Kuala Batas.
Then Kuala Batas. Then my parents pindah ke Perak, Ipoh Perak. And my auntie still there. My auntie dah pass away tapi anak-anak dia masih dah di Bayan.
Di Kuala Batas jugalah.
Bayan Lepas ada, Kuala Batas ada.
Oh, Bayan Lepas ada, kampung ai.
Iya,
ada.
Wah, hari ni jumpa orang kampung dia dah.
Kita tukar program malam ni. Belajar dialek Penang. Jom.
Sejak kasih jenuh pergi depa meretik lalu
Habislah dia jumpa geng ni.
Habis.
Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone. As usual, 9 o'clock, pukul 9. Masalah, time ni memang masa sibuk time. And as usual, my co-host, co-moderator ada all in lah sis all in. So we have as usual. Assalamualaikum sis.
Salam.
Siapa yang ada?
Oh, kita ramai
ni.
Ramai.
Azmi ada. Cat Malik. Cat Faris je, Cat Malik pun ada.
Cat Malik dia tak rap. Cat Faris dia rap.
Dia from Consiler.
So kita ada Sifu Ismaz malam ni. Sifu Ismaz.
Assalamualaikum.
Alhamdulillah. So Sifu Ismaz akan bawa kita untuk menjelajah per topik semalam bila dapat tajuk ni. So bila lepas je dekat Teacher Su ni, bawah panggil Teacher Su ni, dia terus get excited. I think is it the first time we are bringing English punya tu kan topik kan? Rasanya lah.
Mana ada lagi?
Tajuk lah dekat SiffoTime ni.
Really?
English ni first.
Yes, English first.
So before we begin, hope that you guys boleh tolonglah share, tolong like, kan? And I would like to twist malam ni, ada twist sikit. I kejap lagi akan letak kita akan letak link ni dekat chat. So siapa-siapa nak join kalau rasa interesting lah kan, Encik Ismaz punya presentation malam ni, nak join sekali kan, boleh masuk sekali. Kita allow aja masuk. Jangan sampai 100 ya.
Jom.
So please share to as many people as possible. Kan? In a few minutes time. Okay, rasanya 9:10 kita dah boleh start lagi.
Tengah sharing.
Yes. So, bro.
Yes.
Tell a little bit about yourself. Sementara kita tengah share ni.
Okay. Orang dah prepare slide, penat ni. Okay, I'll just do it verbally Okay. Alright, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh everyone. First and foremost, salam maulidul rasul to everyone here. Hope everyone is safe at home. Before I introduce myself, just to share with everyone, malam ni kita chill-chill, I'm going to do it bilingually. So although the focus is on English, tapi ada BM dia juga, alright, because the trainer kat sini ni boleh cakap BM. Okay, right. Now my name is Ismaz Nizam Jasmaj Aziz bin Ismet Aziz. That's my full name, believe it or not. So I think you can guess how much I hate filling up forms. Okay, but
Panjangnya.
panjang berjela orang kata.
Ya.
Okay? So itu nama betul as in my IC. Tapi worry not, everyone calls me by the name of Ismaz. Okay, so in our short meeting ni, minta dekat Saiful 2 jam, dia bagi sejam je. So in our short meeting ni for 1 hour, what we are going to look at insyaAllah will be on common mistakes that we Malaysians tend to do in terms of pronunciation mainly. Sebab kita tak lama, 1 hour je. So we'll do as much as we can. InsyaAllah kalau everything is good, ada banyak interest out there, then macam Saiful kata, probably we can do this again. We can have a second series and all that insyaAllah. Right.
Jom.
Yes.
Mesti your parents suka cerita Ismail Ulam Raja.
Oh, aku anak wayang. Aku memang anak wayang.
Kan.
Anak
Sampai ada nama Ismail.
Anak Ismet ni. Oh, just to share a bit about my background and probably why I'm doing this for SiffoTime. And by the way, thank you very much SiffoTime, Saiful particularly, and the team for inviting me last minute gila. Semalam baru dapat tahu. Okay, so prepared as much as I could. A bit about my background, born and bred in Penang. Okay, tempat di mana orang tua-tua tak pernah pergi ke pasar, diorang pergi ke market. Okay, so see, I'm relating this to the program kita session kita tonight ni. Of course, the pronunciation is not accurate, not precise. We'll talk about that later on. Then I did TESOL, Teaching of English as a Second Language dekat UPM, tapi bukan UPM sekarang UPM I dah tak ada dah. University Putra Malaysia. Alright, I was the first batch, believe it or not, 6 years course of study to become an English teacher. So I'm a former English teacher dekat Sekolah Menengah Subang Utama, Subang Jaya. Was teaching English and literature in English. Then tak lama, for about 2 years, then I joined UKM as a tutor of English and literature in English. Then furthered my studies dekat University of Nottingham for my postgraduate. After that, balik Malaysia. Then Alhamdulillah had a short opportunity to be in the States, US, under the Fulbright Scholarship. And then that gave me the opportunity to be in 3 different universities, University of California, Berkeley, University of Washington State, as well as Louisville dekat Kentucky. Alright, and banyak, just to share kat sini, banyak yang I observe and what I'll share tonight, probably banyak yang come from my experience as a Malaysian, as a second language speaker of English, bila bercakap dengan Mak Saleh and how Mak Saleh boleh tak faham kita cakap, although we are speaking English, alright? Although we are really using English, and I experienced that as a former teacher of English and a lecturer of English going overseas, rasa sedih gila bila you speak English and people cannot understand. So based on that experience, I started observing banyak dekat Malaysia ni, especially apa kita panggil Manglish, Malaysian English, and particularly about pronunciation and how our pronunciation can be very different from how the native speakers, or Masalih as we call them, use the language. Right.
Saya kata ada common mistakes too, made by Malaysians kan?
By Malaysians.
Is it due to Manglish ke?
Manglish is Manglish. We have to be proud of Manglish. That one, remember everyone, we have to be proud of Manglish. Manglish is a variety of English. Kita dah ambil their language and we make it our own to the extent that they cannot understand our English anymore. Dahsyat tak dahsyat kita. Alright? I love that fact that Mak Saleh know that we are speaking English, but they cannot understand what we are saying. Okay. Now, what I'm talking about here is not really Manglish. Mungkin ada masuk sikit sebanyak, but most of them is about pronunciation of words. Common words in English yang banyak kita mispronounce due to several reasons yang I'll cover as I go through later on.
Itu yang kadang-kadang kalau pernah tajuk kan, dia ada beza kan, dia kata speak in English and speaks English. Kadang-kadang kenapa Mak Saleh pun ada problem benda ni.
The difference with I don't see, to tell the truth, I don't see the difference. When you speak in English, alright, basically you are focusing on the language that you are using. Okay? Tapi when you say you speak English, sama juga, you are a particular language that you've chosen for whatever reason to use. Meaning wise, if you ask me, tak ada beza. Dari segi semantics or dari segi meaning, it's exactly the same.
Kan? Lebih kurang je kan.
That's the, some people say that's why English is difficult. Tapi my perspective is like that's what makes English interesting. Kita boleh guna banyak structures to say the same thing, but we can use different structures. So kita ni as Malaysians probably choose, kalau kita still struggle in the language lah, of course, choose the simplest structure and use that structure so that you don't make mistakes along the way.
Interesting. Baru intro ni.
Baru intro
ni.
Minta 2 jam bagi sejam. Pula dia.
Dia tengok macam mana kan. Macam saya dah bagi tahu tadi kan. SiffoTime ni overrun tu benda biasa bagi dia.
Benda biasa Okay.
Biasa bagi dia.
Alright.
Sambung minggu depan.
You guys stop me later on. I trainer yang suka bercakap. Orang Penang pula tu memang suka bercakap.
Dia memang dia datang. Dia break datang masuk sekali tu kan. Okay. So coming back to the topic. Kan. Tentang pronunciation.
Okay.
So the floor is yours.
All right.
You can always share your slides.
Okay. Thank you.
Uish, baru start dah tanya soalan.
Oh, dah ada soalan. Dahsyat, best. Best.
Nak start dulu ke nak jawab soalan tu?
Boleh je, sebut je.
Okay, dia kata, macam mana nak bezakan perkataan yang digunakan oleh Amerika or British? Contoh perkataan center and center.
Okay, alright. Macam mana Okay, permit I play the slide. Boleh just nak check slide is on
Yes.
Yang getting the sound. Okay, back to the question. Siapa tanya tu, Saiful?
Mefila,
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Good question. Well, basically ada 2 cara lah to know whether something tu is British English or American English. One is the spelling system. Yang you mentioned just now tu is very much the spelling system. Kita dekat Malaysia, we tend to use British English. Okay. Although, however, kalau if you notice, the younger generation in Malaysia right now lagi banyak guna American English. Why? Because they are exposed to all the movies, cartoons. Almost all of them are American. Okay, kalau tadi the word center, for instance, okay, British punya spelling will be C-E-N-T-R-E. That's very common. You see it around in Malaysia. But the Americans would spell it as C-E-N-T-E-R. Okay, pronunciation, I would say pretty much the same. Okay, it's still center. However, Americans tend to pronounce their R stronger than the British. So the British, sama macam kita, the Malaysians, we would pronounce it as center, but the Americans would pronounce it as center. The sound is very strong. Okay, so kalau you notice, ramai younger generation Malaysians right now, when they speak English, they sound American. Then there's also about the pronunciation. Okay, now the pronunciation, just now I mentioned about the R, they stress the R, is called the rolling R, all right, in American English, so center, okay. The other one, kalau you tengok example, kita selalu sebut class, we always pronounce it class, classroom, that is British pronunciation. but the Americans would pronounce it as class, classroom rather than classroom. Okay, so attending this program, I would recommend everyone here, lepas ni cakap American English. Okay, you'll sound different. Okay, and tak apalah orang menyampah, right? If we are using the language. Okay, so basically those are the ways for us to identify the difference. The rule in English is very simple. Be consistent. If you're using British English, use British English in terms of the spelling system and the pronunciation. American English, you know, the same as well, the spelling system and the pronunciation. But, you know, at the same time, even though that's the rule, if you ask me personally, as long as it's English, as long as it's understandable to people, it's all about message. English is just the medium. The main thing is the communication.
Yes.
Okay, if communication is successful, then it's good enough. Although kita bercakap broken English ke, pronunciation kita tak accurate sangat ke. Alright, that's my answer to that.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I'll start, yeah? Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Once again, everyone, Assalamualaikum. Thank you for joining this session, and thank you to SiffoTime, particularly Saiful and the team for inviting me. So today we're going to look at different things about English, and the focus is very much on spoken English. So it's all about the sound. Earlier I mentioned, based on my experience being overseas, for instance, bila bercakap dengan Mak Saleh tak faham. Initially I got very frustrated, and then I started to understand why. It's all about the sound. Okay, and in English there are so many words that can sound so similar. If we don't pronounce them carefully, miscommunication can very much happen. Okay, so the structure of our session, I have my slides ready here, but Saiful, you guys stop me anytime you want, all right? Okay, to post questions and all that, just let me know, and then I'll stop sharing and kita boleh sembang kejap, ya. Okay. The structure is basically this. First, we're going to focus at individual words. Okay, so we're going to look at mispronounced English words, particularly in Malaysia by Malaysians. And this is based on our observation, based on research yang dulu I did when I was in UKM, for instance. So there are some common mispronounced words di Malaysia. The second part, kita akan tengok some samples of grammatical or structural errors in spoken English. Okay, yang common ones. Okay, and third, last but not least, before we close the session, some simple tips on how to sound better in English. Okay, so now let's go for this one. Kita tak banyak time sangat ni to talk about English ni, we can go on and on. So let's look at some words that we tend to mispronounce in English, okay, in Malaysia. Now, what you can see right now is what is known as phonetic symbols. Okay. Now, kalau you tak perasan all this while, every time when you open your dictionary or you go online dictionary, you see the word and then you see these symbols, okay, in between these two backslashes, for instance, over there. They are known as phonetic symbols. Just to share with everyone, when I was learning English, masa I did my TESOL dekat UPM, for instance, mana ada the word online pun. There was no internet at that time, so we cannot check pronunciation online through online dictionaries. So we were taught how to pronounce words using phonetic symbols. And kalau you all tengok yang di sebelah kanan tu, that one is particularly very important. That's all about the vowel sounds that we make. In English, there are a lot of vowel sounds yang itu yang we tend to mispronounce most of the time. Okay, so nanti dalam the slides later on, there will be the phonetic symbols. Nanti you all terkejut pula tengok apa ulat-ulat apa benda ni. So basically that helps me and probably to help you something interesting to learn as well on how to pronounce using phonetic symbols. Okay, now let's look at the very first word. We are talking about this word. Takkan benda ni kita salah sebut kan? Now, P-R-O-N-O-U-N-C-E. Now, how do we say this word? I don't want to say this word just yet clearly. All right. Now, how it is said is this: is pronounced. It's not pronounced. It's not pronoun, it's pr. Okay, the E terbalik tu makes the sound. Pronounce. Okay. Now in Malaysia, normally we hear people pronouncing it as simply pronoun. Pronounce the word carefully. Pronounce the word correctly. That's so wrong. Why? Because pronoun in English with that punya sebutan, okay, means kita panggil apa? Kata apa in BM? Ganti nama. Ganti nama. Alright? Is I, you, we, they, he, she. That is pronoun. And that is typically a Malaysian pronunciation problem. When we pronounce a word, kita tak pronounce the word until hujung. Kita, sorry, excuse my language, but I always say like we Malaysians, we tend to be lazy to pronounce the word in full. So kita pronounce it as only pronoun. We skip the s sound, the ce sound at the end. Okay. Now, and then when the verb, okay, pronounce tu is a verb, kata kerja. But when we turn it into a noun, how kita sebut benda tu will become, okay, listen carefully to this, yeah. Pronunciation. It's not pronunciation. Kan, Malaysians banyak sebut pronunciation. Or ada juga yang sebut pronunciation. It's not it's not pronunciation, it's pronunciation. And kalau you tengok on the slide tu, I letak 5 syllable word. Now let me explain to you what's the meaning of syllable. Syllable means sound unit. Okay, sound unit. So if I were to say, example, aeroplane. So that's a 3 syllable word, aeroplane. So this word, the noun form, 5 syllables. Pronunciation. Pronunciation. I want to improve my pronunciation, not pronunciation. Okay, pronunciation. Okay, all right. Siapa cakap English senang, but interesting, kan? Okay, all right. As simple as the very first word. Okay, next word. Okay, guys, try to pronounce this word. Every week of our life, we come across this word. It was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. Okay, how do you pronounce this word?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Good try. Okay, because I'm a good teacher. Whenever you say something wrong, I'll say good try rather than wrong. Okay, it is not. That is the common pronunciation. So kita Malaysians, we look at this as a 3-syllable word. Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. Believe it or not, that is wrong. Okay, the actual pronunciation of this day of the week is Wednesday. It's just a 2-syllable word. Wednesday, not Wednesday. Okay, so start correcting yourself. Start and whatever I share kat dalam sini, tolong everyone. The niat is always please share with your kids, with your family members, with your friends, with your colleagues, apa semua, so that I always say this. Jomlah kita majukan English dalam negara kita. Okay, so it's Wednesday, not Wednesday. Remember this. Okay. All right. So not a 3-syllable word, but a 2-syllable word. Okay. Right. Now this one, common. Now why Malaysians always mispronounce this word? Because this word is now in BM as well. Okay. So we tend to force BM punya pronunciation into an English word. So we tend to pronounce this as automatic. Automatic. If you pronounce this as automatic, memang auta lah jadi dia. Okay? It's not auto. Okay? AU in English actually makes the O sound. It's automatic. Okay? And notice, it's not even to, it's the automatic. Okay? I'm driving an automatic car, not automatic car. Okay, so common mispronunciation, and even sometimes car launches, the person talking about the car make this mistake as well. Sad to say that. Okay, so it's automatic. Okay, and pronounce the k sound at the end though. Automatic. Okay, baru orang tahu exactly what we are saying. Automatic. Remember, it's all about the sound. Okay, common word. All right, common word. Okay, try pronouncing this one now. How do you normally pronounce this word?
Cycle.
Kelik.
Okay, kelik. Okay, you boleh sebut ni as kelik only if you are from Kelantan. Okay, kelik pergi pakai. Alright, then you can call this word as kelik. Okay, good try, Saiful. It is not kelik. Okay, the pronunciation of this word is kolik. Okay, so the people who work with you are your colleagues, not your colleagues. Okay, your colleagues. Okay, again, like I said, these are all common mispronunciation. Big bosses, CEO pun ada still making this mistake. All right. Now, a word that's related to this word, I just want to share with everyone the word staff. Okay, kalau British English, staff. Kalau American English, staff. Okay, it is a collective noun. Okay, just a reminder to everyone. So, bosses, if you are listening over here, if you have one staff, you have one staff. If you have 500 staff, it's still staff. It's not staffs. You tak boleh add s to the word staff. Because in English ada another word actually nya. Ada another word yang spelling exactly like this, S-T-A-F-F, okay? Sebutan dia sama juga, staff or staff, okay? And what it means is actually, you know, Nabi Musa, right? Nabi Musa, Moses, okay? Part the sea into two using a staff, tongkat panjang. Not really a walking stick, but tongkat panjang. Almost macam kalau khutbah Jumaat, the one that we hold masa khutbah Jumaat, that is a staff. So if you say you have 500 staffs, okay, probably what you are trying to say is, Ismaz, I have 5 orang kayu working for me.
Dia mengatur tongkat.
Dia kata staff dia macam kayu lah kot. Right? So it's 500 staff. Remember that. Okay. Colleague, the pronunciation, and staff, this is more on grammar, is a collective noun. Okay. Now this one, sad to say there are still people mispronouncing this, okay, and sadly sometimes it's at the front desk, counters, banks and all that. Okay, now if you look at this word, there are actually 2 words there that exist in English. One is sign, the verb, the action, sign, and then there's also the other word, nature, kat sana. So other people tend to pronounce it as signature, okay, signature or signature, okay. Both I will have to say good try, okay, because the actual pronunciation is signature, okay, signature. Now this is not a rule, but a tip probably, okay. Most words in English, when changed into another category, let's say from verb to become noun, or added prefix or suffix yang depan, yang belakang tu, normally, not all the time, the original sound of the word is changed. Example there, the verb present. I want you to present your idea tomorrow. Present, okay? But when it becomes a verb, it's no longer presentation. It's not presentation, it's presentation. It's presentation. Okay, I need to do a presentation tomorrow. Salah kalau kita kata I need to do a presentation tomorrow. Alright, tapi probably ramai yang akan jawab janji orang faham. Okay, that is the Malaysian rule in communication, which I agree. It's all about communication. Nah, this word, even people in Wisma Putra tend to mispronounce this word. Okay, someone who communicates, let's say, with someone else on behalf of another person. Okay, let's say I don't want to deal directly with my client, then I ask one of my team member to this word with the client. Now, most people in Malaysia, I would say almost 90% of Malaysians that know this word will pronounce it as liars. All right, Ismaz, you liars with the client directly? Okay, liars. It's not liars, it's actually lies. It's lies. Okay, lies. Lias with the person. So a person who does that, kalau dekat Wisma Putra, we don't call them liaison officer. is liaison officer.
Liaison.
Dia bunyi pun best kan? Liaison officer. Alright. Now this is an example of a word that's not originally an English word. Okay. Liaise. Okay. Right. Now these two words, okay, related. Very common word. RED, the color, dengan BREAD yang kita selalu makan. Now try pronouncing it in your head or try pronouncing it aloud. Now compare that pronunciation of yours with these two words. Okay. Now totally different words, totally different meanings with totally different pronunciation. Now let's look at the bottom first. RAID is pronounced as raid. The A sound, A, yeah, raid. And BRAID is braid. Okay, braid, like braid your hair. Ladies, girls would braid their hair, for instance. Okay, so now that means what? RED cannot be pronounced as red. It is actually red. The color is red. The color is not red. Okay, red as in the past tense of read. Red can red. Exactly the same pronunciation. And then what you eat early in the morning for breakfast is not bread, it's bread. Okay, is bread. Kita Malaysians probably because kita tengok EA tu, kita EA tu kita cairkan sikit lah bunyi dia, so jadi bread. Okay, so no, it's actually bread. Okay, a very strong, sharp pronunciation. One syllable only, bread. Okay.
Ni ada soalan ni.
Okay, ada soalan.
Dia kata one person, two persons. Is this correct?
Okay. Now normally, okay. Now this is there's a lot of discussion about this one. Normally, generally, probably the basics of it, we say one person, two people. Okay. But nowadays, it's common to see two persons, three persons, okay, and sometimes in short, people use PAX nowadays, PAX. Okay. Now I can't say for sure right now, but there's a limit to the number for you to use persons. It cannot be like 100 persons. That doesn't make sense anymore. But probably I would use probably up to 10. All right, 10 persons. Are coming for the meeting and all that. Okay, not common. Okay, not common, but people use it in some industry. They use it in the hotel line. They use the word persons quite a lot over there. I wouldn't say it's wrong to say two persons nowadays. It's acceptable.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Okay. All right. Now, what I wanted to share just now is good question, by the way, that one, all right, something, because language evolves. So sometimes there are things yang last time tak boleh, nowadays dah boleh, okay? So you can check, please feel free, I'm more than happy. Yang mana yang boleh, I know, I'll share with you.
Right.
Now, this is Malaysian English, red color.
Red color.
I want to buy a new car, I want to buy red color. Okay, this is Malaysian English. Ya Allah, red tu dah color dah kot. Kenapa? This is what I call the cuba try test syndrome among Malaysians. Okay, jadi redundant benda tu. Tapi banyak Malaysians told me, I mean, I run a lot of English programs. And ramai of my former participants told me, Ismaz, bila sebut red saja ni macam tak puas lah. Macam nak sebut color juga kan. Okay. Then you can say red, there's nothing wrong. People know red is a color. But if you want to use the word color juga, the color red is not red color. Okay, I want to buy the color red. That is acceptable. But to tell the truth, it's not necessary. Just red. Okay, right. This bird, cukup kesian dekat dia. In Malaysia, majority mispronounce nama dia, and I don't blame you guys, yeah. I blame your English teachers, especially most likely during your kindergarten or during primary. Okay, because a lot of English teachers, for whatever reason, during that time would pronounce this word as old. Baru lahir saja dah old. Okay, old. Okay, no, it's not old. It's so wrong. Menangis burung ni kalau dengar. It is actually owl.
Owl.
Macam owl,
An owl.
right? With the L sound at the end. Is the owl. Tolonglah, kesian kat burung ni. Panggillah nama dia betul-betul. Kalau tidak tu orang nak tangkap tak boleh tangkap sebab dia panggil nama salah. Okay, so it's owl, not owl. Okay. Aha, common. CLIMBER, PLUMBER. Okay, but I think you can guess right now because I already put it in red. Now the pronunciation of this word is not climber, it's climber. Silent B. Okay, a person who likes to climb is a climber. A person who comes to our house to do our plumbing is called a plumber. Okay, but I use the ing form. So let me very quickly go through. The same thing with the ing form, you don't pronounce the B. So in English kita kata is the silent B. So climbing, plumbing. Bukan climbing, plumbing. Okay, climber, salah, climber. Plumber, salah, is plumber. Okay, silent B. This is the interesting thing about English. You can learn as much, but it's more about your input, listening. If we have been listening to English carefully, berapa banyak movies dah tengok, berapa banyak TV series dah tengok. If we have been listening carefully, we would have noticed this. Okay, or we would have checked online. Betul ke? Kenapa disebut climbing? Then we realize that, oh, silent B. Okay, all right. So listening. My favorite fish, the only fish with red meat. Okay, believe it or not, it's not salmon, it's salmon. It's salmon. Okay, I pernah ada pergi one supermarket. My wife asked me to buy this fish. I pergi dekat dia, I tanya kat dia, Dek, I'm looking for salmon. I'm looking for salmon. Okay, I'm looking for salmon. And then dia cakap, salmon? Apa tu, Cik? Dia makanan ke? Dia barang dalam tin ke? Dia sayur ke? Kata tak, ikan salmon. The salmon, kata tuan tak ada salmon ni. Main. Ya, dia bawa saya round and I saw because of the red flash, obviously I see it from afar. So I saw it from afar. So kita, tu ada salmon. Dia betulkan saya. Salmon, Cik, bukan salmon. Okay, dia betulkan kita. So it's salmon, not salmon. And then the nut, silent L as well, is not, and the pronunciation is R, not A. Okay, so and it's not almond, it's almond. US, they do pronounce the L. So when you pronounce it as almond, and remember, not almond, al. So if you pronounce it as almond, you are very American. Tiba-tiba satu word American, yang lain semua British. Okay? But kalau nak ikut, nak be consistent, English or UK pronunciation is almond. Okay, without the L sound. Our favorite, Malaysians.
Yes.
We talk about food all the time. Ni lepas PKP ni semua nak pergi benda ni kot dekat hotel-hotel. How do we pronounce it?
Buffet.
We have buffet. You tadi apa? Buffet. Ada yang buffet juga. Okay, buffet is the person. Itu dia buffet. Okay. Now the pronunciation. Most Malaysians pronounce it as buffet. Betul? Buffet. Suddenly, tiba-tiba, I have to say, buffet is not the wrong pronunciation, but it's not English. It's actually the original word. It's French. Amboi Malaysians, but this word tiba-tiba jadi French. Yeah? Pronounce it as the original, buffet. Oh, memanglah the original word is French. Kita sebut macam French lah, konon. Padahal salah sebut. Okay. Now, British English and American English, both actually, they don't actually pronounce it as buffet. They slightly change the original pronunciation in French. They change it to jadi buffet. Okay, it's buffet. Almost like how you pronounce it just now, Saiful. Buff kan, like buffet, alright, like buffet. Dia lighter sikit lah, buffet. Okay, but it's not wrong to say buffet. You know, it's French. The original word is French. Sebut je lah buffet. But if you want to know, it's buffet for English. Okay, buffet.
Ni ada soalan ni.
Yes, soalan.
Dia tanya, how to pronounce flower atau flour?
Okay, flower or flour. Interesting. Now, both are correct. Okay, to mean flour, tepung. Okay, there are certain places in UK, in England, where they don't pronounce it as flour, they pronounce it as flower. What's the name of that young chef yang selalu online tu? The young British chef. God, I can't recall the name. Okay. Okay. Tony, sorry, I can't recall the name. But he would pronounce it as flower. Okay. Now, actually in English, banyak. Sorry, Jamie Oliver. Jamie Oliver would pronounce flour as flower. Okay. Both are correct. Okay, but I always prefer to pronounce it as flour because in English, flower can mean another word, another meaning. And I'm always worried kalau ada orang-orang yang dekat dapur dengar live Jamie Oliver tengah masak, and then Jamie Oliver kata, okay ladies, now get the flowers and get the flower and put inside your pot, lagi pergi dekat garden pergi ambil bunga, pergi masuk dalam pot kan. Alright, so I would prefer the pronunciation flour, but both are correct. Okay.
Ni ada lagi.
Good question. Yes, please.
How do you pronounce anti or anti, saliva
also,
and entrepreneur?
And what? The other one? Entrepreneur. Okay. All right. The first one, both are acceptable, anti or anti. Okay. Normally, people will pronounce it as anti something when they really want the stress on the meaning that is against something. Okay, so a particular movement, they might call it, anti something. But both are acceptable, anti or anti. Okay. What was the second one again? Saliva.
Yes.
All right, saliva. Okay, saliva rather than sorry, saliva, ailio. Okay, not saliva. All right, I've heard people pronouncing it as saliva, but it's actually saliva. All right, saliva. And then the last one is entrepreneur. Okay, it's originally a French word rather than English word. So it's entrepreneur. Okay.
Ini satu lagi. Chicken spot yang paling famous ni.
Apa dia?
Chicken spot yang paling famous.
Chicken.
Agak-agak apa nak sebut?
the Thai.
That one. Okay.
Yes, the Thai.
Dia depends Saiful. Tengok orang. Ada orang prefer yang lagi satu tu. Okay. Now that's something that I want to talk about later. Okay. THIGH. That's what you meant, right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Now the TH sound. That's something that I'll cover later. Is the th sound. It's Thai. It's not Thai. Thai pakai pergi office. Okay, jenuh budak dekat KFC tu nak pergi cari Thai. Alright. So it's not Thai, it's Thai. Alright, Thai. Just like our neighbor, our country, Thailand. Kita even Thailand kita tak sebut betul-betul. Kita sebut Thailand. You know why? Because TH sound only exists in English. So kita tend to replace the TH sound with D sound, D sound, or T sound. Kita sebut Thai saja, kita tak sebut Thai. So it's actually Thai, Th sound. Later, bila masuk dekat TH sound tu, I'll share about how to pronounce the Th sound tu. Some people find it very difficult. Actually, it's not that difficult to pronounce it. It's just that kita tak biasa sebab dalam BM tak ada Th sound. Only in English, all the standard languages in the world, only English has the Th sound. Yeah, some people find it difficult to pronounce. Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Tapi kita ada bunyi dalam Quran sa. sa dengan th is about the same. So kalau you pandai sebut sa, you can sebut sai.
Well
Sa,
done.
sa, sai.
Okay. So kalau in Arabic, so it will be apa? Ta.
Sa.
Oh,
Sa.
sa. Now hold on. Sa is in Arabic or in Jawi?
In Arabic pun sa yang ada tiga titik tu sa.
I know.
Kita sebut,
Because I'm not sure which one. I mean, lama
sama,
tak tulis Jawi kan?
Jawi.
No, not necessarily. Ada letters in Jawi that doesn't exist in Arabic. Example, pa.
Dia
Pa
dua-dua
only
ada.
exists in Jawi, tapi tak ada in Arabic. That's why a lot of Arabs have problems pronouncing P sound. Dia akan jadi B sound. Dia problem. I have a problem, brother. Bukan problem. Okay. All right.
Petronas.
Okay. But interesting. And later I'm gonna relate something about Arabic with pronunciation. Okay. Now this word. Okay. Now we normally pronounce this word as record. Betul? Record. But remember, this word ada two functions. One as a verb, kata kerja. The other one as a noun. Okay, kata nama. So as a verb, example, I want you to blank the session. I want you to record. Okay, now the way we have been pronouncing is actually the verb sound of the word, record. But the noun is not pronounced as record. The noun is pronounced as, kalau British English or UK English, it's record. Record. Kalau US English, record. Okay, compare that to record. Record, record. Okay, or US English record. I mean, ignore US English for now. Just talk about the British English, record for the verb. So example, if I were to say this statement, Usain Bolt broke the 100 meters record. Okay, not record, record. Puff Daddy is launching his fifth record, not record. Okay, so that's the difference between the verb and the noun. Common word, C-L-O-S-E. Kita selalu pronounce close lah kan? Dah sah-sah ada S kat situ. Okay, but the actual pronunciation, and again, this verb pun ada dua functions juga. One as a verb, okay, untuk tutup, tolong tutup pintu. So that one is the verb, and the other one is adjective adverb when we want to talk about distance. Okay, dekat pun in English is close as well. Okay, dekat jauh is close. Now the verb, believe it or not, yang kita selalu sebut actually-nya is salah. The right pronunciation is with the Z sound. Close. Close the door. Not close the door, close the door. And distance is the one yang kita selalu sebut tu. I am close to my parents, for instance. Okay, so itu with the S sound. Close. The verb, close the door. Okay, alright, remember that, the Z sound. Jangan belasah aja dua-dua close.
Dia janji ada bunyi kan?
Apa dia?
Dia janji ada bunyi kan?
Dia punya rule is janji orang faham.
Itulah.
Janji orang faham.
Janji
But I think whatever it is, we are here to improve, alright? Okay, to improve. And like I said earlier, ni kalau tak bukan untuk kita, it's for the cenoet at home tu.
Yeah.
Okay, the little ones. Okay, and because like it or not, guys, English is a commodity right now in Malaysia. Alright, anak siapa-siapa yang risau tak ada kerja, if the English is good, confidence level is good, jangan risaulah, pergi je interview. Alright, they are looking for that rather than the CGPA, to tell you the truth. Okay, now let me go through this and then you guys boleh share with me kalau ada questions lagi
Now, sebelum sound ni. Ada soalan.
Ada soalan, okay. Bawa soalan dulu.
Dia kata, bila masa ejaan J itu disebut sebagai H, contoh Jose atau Jose, Juan
Okay.
and Juan.
Okay. Alright.
Juan and Juan.
Okay. Jawapan tu akan terjawab dalam siri kita minggu depan, belajarlah bahasa Spanish. Okay. Okay, that is Spanish. Okay, that is Spanish. Now Spanish ada banyak words yang looks you have to remember when you look at Spanish, don't look at the letters as English letters. The letters of the alphabets ni semua orang guna. BM guna, English guna, Spanish guna as well. Okay, so those are their letters. The letters, although J tu nampak macam J in English, but actually in Spanish is pronounced as the H sound, the H sound, like Jose rather than Jose. Okay, so that is Spanish. I have to say I'm not an expert in Spanish. Tengah tengok banyak Narcos punya series on Netflix right now. Inshallah maybe next month kita try buat Spanish punya tu pula. Alright, but interesting language, Spanish. Something like, you know, if you want to pick up another language, I would recommend Spanish. Nice language, and almost all of South American countries speak Spanish. So many people in the world speak Spanish. Okay, in the US pun ramai Mexican. For instance, you don't call them Mexican. Actually, kalau ikut Spanish, the pronunciation is Mexican, but that is an X. Okay, so we cannot apply the same rule to another language. That's what I'm saying. Okay, right? Any more?
Itu je dulu. Boleh jalan.
Jalan dulu yang ni ya. Okay, the ET ni, alright, ada the ET punya sound or letters at the end of the word. Now, in English, banyak words yang end in ET. And perasan tak, banyak of these words are already in BM as well. BM has borrowed these English words, changed the spelling, as well as changed, the pronunciation. Okay, so now the ET sound in English is the it sound, not the example. I'll just put here. BM, we tend to pronounce the ET sound as at. So market, socket, pocket, racket, rocket, bucket, picket, jacket, locket, packet. Betul kan? In BM we pronounce it like that. Although the spelling of course is different. Kita respell. So packet in English jadi P-A-K-E-T. So packet. The air sound, macam the cat sound, the air sound. Tapi in English is actually the it sound. So it's market, socket, pocket, racket, rocket. Dia tak like it tu, dia tak bunyi kuat. Dia a very soft one. Bucket, picket, jacket, locket, packet. And kalau notice my pronunciation, I tak tahu lah through mic ni clear ke tak. Can you hear the t sound when I pronounce the words? It's not jacket, it's jacket. It's not locket, it's locket. Okay, kita selalu tak nak sebut somehow for whatever reason the last sound tu. That makes it English, to tell you the truth. Kalau you kata Ismaz, put on your jacket, jacket, J-A-C-K-E-D ke? Kan macam mana ejaan apa benda tu? When you say jacket, oh jacket, okay? The t sound tu, it makes a lot of difference because ada banyak words in English bunyi lebih kurang, tapi satu end with T, satu end with D. If you don't pronounce it carefully, people might think it's the other word. Okay, all right. So English makes the it sound almost like it, like it. Okay, so jacket, jacket, locket. Okay, not the at sound. Ramai orang I sometimes meet someone very fluent in the language, alright, speaks English, kadang-kadang dengan accent bagai lagi apa semua. Tapi bila saya oh Ismaz, I forgot to put ni in my pocket. Pocket potong betul. Dah cakap best tiba-tiba pocket kau sebut benda tu, okay? It's pockets, alright? Now tadi, okay, back to the question. Good question just now. The TH sound, as I mentioned. A lot of people, not just Malaysians, all over the world consider this as a difficult sound to make because most languages in the world, if not all, don't have this sound. It's the th sound. So there are many words in English that either start with the th sound or end with the th sound. Okay, and we must pronounce the th sound. And how to pronounce the th sound is simple. Position the tip of your tongue between the two rows of your teeth. Okay, dekat ujung tu, you can see the tip tu terjulur lah sikit kan, right? And then blow air out at the same time. So it becomes the th sound. Alright, it's very light. It's not terribly strong. Th sound. So dia macam panjang sikit bila pronounce it. Dia jangan itu dah jadi strong sound. Okay, don't replace the th sound. And Malaysians banyak buat ni with d sound or th sound. Perasan, kalau you buat bunyi d right now in your mouth, you buat d, the tip of your tongue will touch your upper palate, the langit atas. Okay, okay. Kalau d sound, kalau you buat th sound, the tip of your tongue is touching the inside of your teeth from dalam. So dia jadi th sound. So when you see the words that use the th sound, is not to pronounce them with the th sound, is the th sound. So that, 3. Ini selalu kadang-kadang in my training, I suruh orang kira because I want to break them up into teams. So selalu jadi apa? 1, 2, pokok. 3. Okay? And then ini not this one lah, tapi jangan tambah after, and then 5. F-A-I-F bunyi dia. It's not 5, it's 5. Dia ada vibration, v sound, 5. And then dapat orang sakit, sick. I selalu kata if you are sick, why are you here in this class? Tu dia macam pelik, kata sick after 5, sick. Okay. So it's 6. Alright, panjangkan the ending tu, 6, the X itu sound, the X macam S sound juga actually, XS, 6. Okay, so these through, thick, both, froth, mouth, breath, orang selalu sebut breath kan, breath, death. So kalau you notice when I pronounce this word, especially when the TH is at the end, the pronunciation tu bukan mouth berhenti, is mouth. Dia ada lagi bunyi dia tu, the th sound tu panjang, alright, mouth. Just to share with everyone, yesterday I received a call from Standard Chartered. Biasalah, nak kutip hutang lah kan, about my housing loan. So, and then this girl over the phone wanted to verify whether it was really me on the phone. So, and then she asked me, I'm sorry sir, but before we proceed, can you give me your date of birth? Kata, sorry, I knew what she wanted to say, but I saja je tanya balik. Kata, sorry, date of birth? Kata, date of birth. Alright, date bagi it sounded to me mati of bird, burung. Kenapa kau nak tahu pasal burung aku? Alright, so is date of birth. Alright, date ada th sound and birth, th sound. Okay, alright. And then, okay, English, we all know, ada tenses, okay, past tense, present tense. So some words like spend, dengan past tense dia ialah spent. So ini kita tengok the word, so kita nampak the word, we know how to pronounce it. But when you speak or when you listen, okay, it must be clear enough. So basically we are focusing on ourselves right now. When we speak, the listener must know whether we are talking in the present tense or in the past tense. So if you are talking in the present tense, then spend. But if you're talking in the past tense, you must pronounce the th sound, spent. Kalau most words yang ends with d, most words yang end with d or ed, the d sound for past tense mesti bunyikan. So borrow and borrowed, mesti ada d sound. Okay. Sebab kadang-kadang I get people to read aloud what's written on a text. They read aloud and then I ask balik. Example, they pronounce borrowed as borrow saja. Dia kata, is that word? Are you sure it's B-O-R-R-O-W? Dia kata, tak. It's B-O-R-R-O-W-E-D. And then pronounce it. Dia kata, borrow. Borrow juga. Right? It's borrowed. Okay. So in English, you must sound out your tenses. Okay. And then, believe it or not, I think I'm the first person in Malaysia to use this principle. Qalqalah kubra kan your English. Okay, qalqalah kubra kan your English. All right. Always sound in English. Ada a group of letters or sounds yang kita panggil plosives. Okay, yang dibunyikan b, d, g, k, p, and t. Okay. So, for the Malaysian Muslims here, you will understand what I'm talking about. Qalqalah kubra. When we read Qul Huwallah, it's always Qul Huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid walam yulad, walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Okay. So English is that. So if DECK is not deck, it's deck. Okay, deck. All right. So practice words that ends particularly with B, D, G, K, P, T, and then really pronounce the last sound of the word too. Okay. So just like how you do when you read your Quran, when you have to apply qalqalah kubra. All right. Now remember that qalqalah kubra kan your English from now on. Then you sound like a native speaker. Sorry, was that simple?
First time dengar.
First time dengar kan? Alright, okay. So remember that English is a language that must be sounded and sounded well. Then you sound almost like a native speaker, if not like a native speaker yourself. Okay, soalan, Siffo.
How to pronounce continent dengan continental?
Continent is correct. Continent. Well, I pronounce it as continental. I pronounce it as continental myself. Is there any other pronunciation for it?
I'm not sure. Ni one of the speaker apa? Acting dalam SiffoTime.
Yeah.
Masa ramai sangat kita tak tahu siapa yang tanya. Yeah.
British pronunciation is continental. Continental, not continental. Continental. And both American is continental. They're like almost the same. Let's go with the British. Is continental. 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 So the t sound rather than t sound. T sound. Continental. Good question. Interesting.
All right.
All right. Okay. Now, okay, this one, okay, I have to admit, this one probably is not a common Malaysian error, probably advanced level. Now, there are words in English that ends with ST, and then we add S after that, okay? Either to make it plural, okay? Or if it's a verb, like the last word over there, okay? That's a verb. Let's say it's in the present tense, so we add S. So now, example, the word CRUST, if we pronounce it on its own, is crust. Okay, crust. Ada the t, ada the s, and the t sound. Crust. Now, when we add S, we still have to make the s sound, the t sound. Now we have to add another s sound. So it becomes crusts. Crusts. Okay, breasts, okay, tests, rests, arrests, okay, so that almost double S sound there. At first the S sound, then the T sound, then the S sound, okay. Sound out the plural or the present tense, as I mentioned, okay. Add another S sound after the ST sound. So it's breasts, tests, rests, arrests. Okay, so now if you listen carefully, after this, I recommend to everyone, when you watch your movies, when you watch your TV series in English, first, remember what I mentioned earlier, switch off the, what do you call that? Subtitles, all right? Switch off the subtitles. Now, please make sure, you all beli TV mahal-mahal, flat screen, sound system bukan main lagi, tapi volume very low. Plus the volume, janganlah melampau sangat sampai neighbor complain. blast the volume. You know why? Because you want to listen to the language, not hear the language. When you listen to the language, when people say the word tests, and then you say, kenapa disebut macam tu? Tests. And then you can check online. Oh, when we add S, we have to pronounce it with another S, okay? Rather than tests saja. Okay, tests. Okay, all right. Now, ini a bit of grammatical structural errors pula tadi just individual words. Okay, now this one. Boleh lagi ke? Ni, halal ke? Boleh ya? Alright, okay. Now, the first one I want to share is very important. If all of you yang tengok ni, I'm not sure how many viewers and all that right now, but if all of you lepas this session stop making this mistake, I am a happier Malaysian. Seriously. Thank you very much if you can do this, alright? This one, ya Allah, tolong jangan cakap dah. Okay, when I hear this, darah keluar ni, meleleh, telinga apa semua ni, mata kadang-kadang kalau nampak mata keluar darah. Okay, it's
muntah hijau.
Muntah hijau semua cukup, alright? Tak, emoticons pun tak cukup nak guna untuk semua tu, alright? It's mean, that's mean. Let's say you're explaining something to me, I don't really get you or I don't really understand you. And then I ask you to elaborate or rephrase, and then you say to me, "Ala Ismaz, it's mean, that's mean, that is so wrong." Alright, itu yang ini memang berdarah telinga. Why wrong? It should be this. It means. That means. It dengan that are pronouns. Alright, they are pronouns. So since they are pronouns, okay. Then the word that comes after that is the verb. So yang kita tukar is the verb. Kita tak tukar the pronoun in terms of tenses. So this is present tense. So it means, that means. Okay, please make sure. And the thing is this, Malaysians, if this is a test, okay, which of the following is correct? I won't be surprised you will choose it means and that means. Lepas habis test saja, orang tanya soalan, it's mean, that's mean, okay? Because our practice and our knowledge are two different things, okay? Because we as Malaysians, our education system taught us to do well in exams, okay? So bila on paper macam ni, nampak, we know the answer. But when we speak, and you know why, everyone, practice this after this. It's one of the tips that I always give people about English. Listen to yourself when you speak. When you listen to yourself when you speak, then you boleh perasan when you make mistakes, and you can very quickly correct yourself. And jangan laju sangat cakap English. English is a slow language. English is not a fast language. English is one of the slowest language in the world. When people speak the language, okay? Asian languages are among the fastest languages in the world. Can you guess what is the fastest language in the world? There was a research conducted. Everyone from native speakers of different languages, they were all given the same topic to talk about the topic within, let's say, 1 minute, okay? Guess which person speaking which language can speak the most, can talk the most about the topic. It's not English. English was the least in that research. Tamil. All right. Okay. Now that word in English is pronounced as Tamil, not Tamil. Tamil is the fastest language in the world. So those of you yang kerja ni, kalau your big boss suruh you buat presentation, a lot for you to present, but you are only given 15 minutes to present. Don't use English, don't use BM, use Tamil.
Use Tamil.
Okay, because you can present a lot more within that 15 minutes. Of course, if they can understand Tamil as well.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, remember this one. Please don't make this mistake. It's becoming so common in Malaysia right now. My worry is that it will sound right to us when in fact it's so wrong. And to me macam ni lah, I would say this, malu kalau kita cakap dengan native speakers of the language and make these mistakes, alright? Because it's too basic for us to make mistakes lagi. Yes, too obvious. That's true. Okay. Ni satu lagi, more better. Ini sindrom cuba try test lah ni. Dah better dah lah, kenapa nak more better lagi? Alright, is good,
lagi bagus,
better, best. Dia macam puas lah sebut more better tu kan, macam bagus betul lah kan. So in English, no, is good, better, best. If you remember in school last time, we learned comparative and superlatives. Alright, comparatives and superlatives. So I'll share this. It's just better. So if you can see what's here, alright. Now, ada some words in English, okay, we just add ER when we compare. Okay, ni selalu I dengar kata Ismaz, our performance last year was more better than this year's. Okay, keluar ni, ambil tisu lap darah kat telinga, baru I respond to that. Okay, so most words in English we just add ER. Tapi ada words yang we cannot simply add ER. Example, beautiful. Ada ke beautifuler? Tak ada kan? Alright, she is beautifuler than her. Okay, tak ada. So beautiful is a word that you cannot change it. Okay, for comparative or superlative. So then the word like beautiful, then baru kita add more beautiful. She is more beautiful than katalah her friend, for instance. Okay, then we add more. Tapi macam good, we change the word to become better for comparative. So we just use better, not more better. That is wrong, that's redundant and berdarah telinga. Okay.
Ni ada soalan ni.
Okay, soalan.
Ni daripada G Muhammad ni. Dia tanya jewelry or jewelry?
Jewelry. Not jewelry. Jewelry. Jewelry, two syllables. G Muhammad macam kenal je nama tu. Okay. Okay.
Much better pun salah ke dia tanya?
Apa dia?
More better tu salah. Much better tu salah ke?
Much better betul. I'm only talking about more better. More better salah. Much better boleh. So kalau tak puas sebut better saja, Malaysian being Malaysian, guna much better.
That is much better.
That is much better. Yes.
Coach,
Yes.
sometimes diorang ni ada macam dia nak sebut something, but they have the word Malay word in their mind, and they try to translate it into English. Sebab tu dia jadi more better, lagi bagus, more better. Tu dia masalahnya.
I agree. Well done. You nak jadi co-trainer I for English kan? Boleh juga.
Boleh.
Dah ada skill tu. Now I nak share one more about BM. This is about preposition. Okay. In English sebenarnya the favorite preposition, I call it the favorite preposition, is actually preposition. If ada yang tak remember, preposition ni yang in, at, on, above, below. Okay, itu semua preposition. To put into position of things kan, okay, into, onto, to semua prepositions. Okay, now in English the favorite preposition or the preposition that's used the most probably or often is actually in, but Malaysians banyak suka guna at. I give you an example. Bila tanya someone where are you from and all that, I was born at Kota Baru, at Kelantan, at Malaysia. Do at memanjang. You know, I've been like, pening kepala. Itu bukan berdarah telinga lah tu kan. Itu berdarah habis semua lah. So I was wondering on my own many years back, kenapa Malaysians prefer to use at rather than the other prepositions? Then this is my assumption, okay, is because in BM, this is not formal BM. This is BM pasar kita. Kita ada kat. KAT. Saya lahir kat Kelantan, saya lahir kat Kota Baru, kat Kelantan, kat Malaysia. So we tend to translate kat, KAT, as at. Okay? So I was born in Kota Baru, in Kelantan, in Malaysia. Alright? It's all in rather than at. At is used only when it's very specific. Example, I work at I work in Standard Chartered Bank. In Standard Chartered Bank. And then you can say, I work at the risk management department. I work at the risk management department in Standard Chartered Bank. Okay, so at is used only when dah really specific, then you use at. Okay, all right. Okay, this one. Okay, favorite mistake as well in Malaysia. All right, selalu jumpa orang petang, and I get this greeting, good evening. Okay, petang, talking about petang. Now, it's actually wrong. Petang is not good evening, guys. Petang is still good afternoon. We use good afternoon from 12 p.m. all right, midday until around 6 p.m. Or I personally, to tell you the truth, I even extend it, kalau kita kat Malaysia ni senja, okay, dekat-dekat nak maghrib tu, only then I will stop using good afternoon. Bila dah start gelap outside, then I'll stop using good afternoon. Okay, then I'll use good evening. Now, a lot of people confuse good evening. Okay, again, I don't blame many of you here. Again, I blame your English teachers. Cikgu English kita lah yang ajar kita ni. Alright, yang mana yang kelas petang semua tu nak balik, good evening teacher. Okay, apa benda lah tu kan? Alright, it is so salah. Okay, now the mistake is this: we thought, or our English teachers last time thought evening is petang. Evening is not petang in English. Okay, petang in English is actually, dia tak ada word on its own. So they create a phrase, late afternoon. So 4 p.m., 5 p.m. example is late afternoon. Okay, but there's no greeting for late afternoon. Janganlah pergi jumpa someone pukul 4 petang, good late afternoon sir. How are you? Okay, there's no such thing as late afternoon. So we still use good afternoon. Malam, when you meet someone, your greeting will be good evening. If you, for those of you who joined earlier, my greeting to all of you was that good evening. I cannot say good night. Habis semua orang balik. But at the end of this session, I will say good night. Good night is only used when you dah nak balik. That's the last time you jumpa that person. Only then you say good night. Okay, so remember about good afternoon ni. Alright, ini kalau ada English teachers watching here, please, English teachers, of all the people in the world, you should not be making this mistake. Okay, majulah English untuk negara. Okay, a bit more. I rush through sikit. Kamal's car is faster than Ali. Wrong. Why? Of course, macam manalah Ali nak kejar Kamal punya car. Okay, so basically what we want to say, Kamal's car is faster than Ali's car. Okay, but in English, you don't have to repeat the same structure. Okay, so in English, it should be Kamal's car is faster than Ali's. Okay, meaning Ali's car. Tapi kita tak payah. Kalau you put car, taklah salah. Tapi not necessary in an English structure. Okay, Kamal's car is faster than Ali's. His performance is better than his, bukan than he. Okay, his performance, he itu orang lain lah kan. Kamal's performance is better than his. Okay, so bila kita guna his for possessive pronoun kat sana, so that means when we put a person's name, we have to put the possessive marker and s as well. Ali's. Okay. Okay, this, yes. Ada soalan?
Kalau macam nama dia Saras lah kan. How do you pronounce that?
Okay, exactly. Right at the point. Dahsyat lah. Okay. All right. Now there are some people's names, okay, for instance, that ends with an S. Okay. So kalau kita nak tunjuk kepunyaan or possession, so I see this a lot in Malaysia. People, let's say the name is Anis, so a name that ends with an S, yeah. So they put Anis, possessive marker, S, report. Okay, membazir S. Okay. Now the rule in English says this. The second example there is in the plural. Bila in the plural, it ends with an S as well. All right, either S or ES. So example, the interns and then we put apostrophe S reports. Now that's wrong. Okay, so this one is probably more for writing. So it's Anis possessive marker report. Okay, and then the interns possessive marker report. Now, how to pronounce was the question tadi that you asked. Now, pronunciation will be like this. You have to add another S sound. Okay, walaupun kita tak letak the S kat sana. So it will be like this. Anis's report. Okay, I'm looking for Anis's report. I'm looking for the interns' reports. Okay, you cannot say I'm looking for the interns' report. Then you are not indicating the possessive marker. Alright, kepunyaan itu. So I'm looking for the interns' reports. I'm looking for Anis's report. Okay, so that's how you pronounce it. Kalau example, my name, it doesn't end with an S, but the Z sound is almost like the S sound. So Ismaz's car. It's not Ismaz car, Ismaz's car. Almost an ES sound at the end of it. Okay, so that's for names or words in the plural form, and we want to put the possessive marker, apostrophe S or just apostrophe. So ending with S, just apostrophe. Okay, kalau tak, then we put apostrophe S. Okay, and notice the pronunciation. So bila orang dengar, orang tahu, people can type. You know, nowadays ada banyak devices that even Zoom, for instance, you can, what do we call that? Switch on the one that when you speak, the text will come out. What do we call that? I don't know, but I think you guys know what I mean, right? Even on phone, we have that as well, that you can speak to your phone. Let's say you want to send an email, but you're too lazy to write, or that's not the right time for you to write. Speech recognition, speech recognition. Okay, speech recognition. That's right. So if you're using speech recognition, selalu Malaysians kita bila kita use speech recognition, when we speak in English, kita marah sistem tu. Okay, bongok betul, tak faham, aku dah sebut dah betul-betul pun kau tak boleh faham apa semua. So actually to test whether our English is good in terms of pronunciation is to try it out on a speech recognition punya software somewhere on your device. If it can capture your words one after another, that means your pronunciation is like a native speaker's pronunciation. When I say native speaker ni, masalah lah. People who are born with the language. Right. Kita native speakers of BM. Ni satu lagi, berdarah telinga. Others people. Okay, I'm waiting for others people. Ya Allah, no. It's either I'm waiting for others only, or I'm waiting for other people. You cannot say it as others people. Okay, there's a serious mistake in pronunciation, not pronunciation, in the structure of English. Ibu-ibu, bapa-bapa, alright, yang pagi-pagi selalu sebut ni, duk menjerit dekat anak, quick, wear your shoes, wear your shirt, wear your clothes, wear your pants. Okay, believe it or not, it's not correct. It's not wear, it is put on. Put on your shoes, put on your shirt, put on your clothes, put on your pants. Now, let me explain this. Put on is used when you have not put it on. Okay, belum pakai lagi. Okay, you are barefooted right now. Then you tell someone is barefooted, and then you tell that person, put on your shoes. Now, let's say the person has put on his shoes, and then that person comes to my office, okay? And then dekat the door, dia tanya I, kita Ismaz, should I take off my shoes? I say like, no. You can wear your shoes in my office. Wear. So wear your shoes is used when you are already in your shoes. Okay? That is wear your shoes. Okay, example, you might want to ask, example, someone, a non-Muslim probably would ask the question like, can you guys wear shoes in the mosque? Okay, can you guys wear shoes in the mosque? Because the idea is that when you go to the mosque, you are already in your shoes. Okay, can you just walk into the mosque without taking it off? All right, then we tell them, no, we have to take off our shoes before we enter the mosque. Okay, so before pakai is put on. All right, when you are already having it on, then it's about wear. So probably in different situations we talk about wear, but the right one is put on. Okay, ini we're asking questions. Okay, notice or not everyone, Manglish or Malaysian English, when we ask question, kita buat apa tahu? Kita bukan really ask question, kita buat statement dulu. We always make a statement. You like durian, isn't it? Okay, betul. Tone dia pun dah Malaysian English kan, isn't it? You like durian, isn't it? A statement, and then kalau in English we call this question tag. Alright, boleh. Tapi isn't it tu tak betul. Malaysian suka sangat guna isn't it. Alright. You are off tomorrow, isn't it? Okay. And then favorite Malaysian English, can or not. Send the report tomorrow. Again, notice that is a statement. Send the report tomorrow, and then comma, can or not. Send the report tomorrow. Can or not? Cannot. Mesti tarik panjang, cannot.
Cannot.
Cannot tu tak apa, ada yang not. Not saja dijawab. Okay, the actual way to ask questions in English is if you want to use the question tag, all right, you can make a statement first. You like durian, comma, don't you? You like durian, don't you? You are from Penang, aren't you? Okay. You are a Malaysian Indian, aren't you? Okay. So that's how you ask question in English using question tag. But apa nak susah payah? Just use the simple structure. Do you like durian? Habis. It's clear enough. Tapi Malaysia kata tak puas lah Ismaz tanya macam tu. Do you like durian? Yes or not? Okay, ada juga dia nak tambah kat ujung tu.
Dia tambah belakang. Isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, do you like durian? Or just like for the second example, can you send the report tomorrow? Rather than make the statement, send the report tomorrow, can or not? Okay? Can you send the report tomorrow? Tak payah tambah, can you send the report tomorrow or not? Tak payah dah or not tu. Because the answer will give you the answer. Okay?
Dia seronok, nak tahu. Seronok.
Tak campur dengan
Yes, sorry, sebab?
Dia tak campur dengan oh how tu. You want to go here or how?
Itu semua yang macam you mention tadi, ya, direct translation tu. Now talking about direct about that one, the situation that you shared with me earlier, so yang the word just doesn't come to our mind. So the Malay word comes up first, okay, and then we direct translate the word. Okay, now just to share with everyone, Google Translate is only for translation of words. Google Translate cannot translate sentences from BM to English.
Kadang-kadang orang guna juga.
Itu yang jadi bahasa tak apa-apa lepas tu. Okay, Google Translate is only for translation of words. You may use Google Translate, all right? But there's only for translation of words, not translation of sentences. Okay, from BM to English, because Google Translate, the structure in there is only the English structure. They don't have the BM structure inside there, and to move things around to turn it into a proper BM sentence. Okay, so that's one about Google. What I wanted to say just now ialah this. All of you yang watching this, nak tahu tak bila you will know that your English is already good? Okay, let me tell you when. When one day you wake up early in the morning, and if you're married, your spouse, your husband or your wife will ask you questions like this. Abang, semalam apa yang you mimpi yang help tu? Okay, that means what? You are already dreaming in English. Alright, so meaning your thought patterns are no longer the BM thought patterns, your thought patterns are the English thought patterns. Okay, so once you start dreaming in English, that means and this is true, once you start dreaming in English, that means you are thinking in English. When we speak a particular language, what we want to do is we want to think in the language rather than from another language and then translate it into English. That one, itu yang bila present jadi beku tu, panic, berpeluh sebab you are looking for that one word. Now, the thing about English is this: if you cannot find that English word, okay, don't worry. Explain the meaning of the word. Okay, macam dictionary. Okay, you go to the dictionary, you find the word exit. Okay, exit. Now, when you are communicating with someone or presenting to someone, you nak guna the word exit. Tapi during that time, for whatever reason, the word exit tak keluar. All right, so just say to that person, you know that word that we always see at the door going out. You know, just explain like that, and then people will give you mean exit. Yes, I just want to check whether you know the word or not. Padahal kita tak ingat, kan? Okay, right now.
Ada soalan ni sebelum
soalan. Okay, kejap. Let me do this one and then you ask this question. Okay, now this is specially dedicated to all or if any out there English teachers. Please stop this. Referring to yourself as Teacher Anis. If you're a male, referring to yourself as Sir Kamal. Come on guys, you are English teachers. Get it right. Teacher is a vocation. Okay, you don't call me Trainer Ismaz. You don't call someone Engineer Kamal. You don't call someone Delivery Alif. Okay, right? Because that's a vocation. It should be and Sir Kamal. Sir Kamal ni dahsyat lah sebab level dia dah sama dengan Sir Elton John. That means dia dah jumpa Queen of England and the Queen of England has bestowed upon him knighthood. Sir ni macam Datuk Tan Sri ni dekat UK, right? So it should be your name, guys. It should be and parents dekat sini, please correct the teachers dekat your kids school, because anak-anak kita duk balik duk cakap teacher this said, teacher that said. No, it's kalau in English Miss Anis, all right, or Puan Anis. You can use the Malay terms of reference like Puan, Mr. Kamal, Encik Kamal. Okay, I can accept the greeting, good morning teacher. That is generic. I can still accept that. But referring to yourself as teacher something or sir something is just not right in English. Okay, ini believe it or not, English teachers in Malaysia doing direct translation from BM. Cikgu Anis.
Cikgu Anis.
Jadi teacher Anis. Ini people who are supposed to improve English in the country ni. Come on guys, get this right, okay?
And I must change my name already. I must change my name.
Okay, why you put that as teacher something? I tak perasan tadi.
Teacher tu.
Use your name. Be proud of your name, guys. And I always just to share with everyone, when you call someone with title, jangan panggil dia Datuk. Panggil Datuk and nama dia, because using the name in communication is very powerful, because our brain has been conditioned to believe that when people know your name, that means that person is close to you. It's either your family member, your friends, okay? Only these people are people who know your names, okay, right? So that's why teachers, it's very important for us to know our students' names and call them by their name, because you can manage your kids better even at home when you start using their name. Ingat tak guys, dulu masa kecil-kecil dulu kalau buat jahat, mak kita nak suruh kita stop buat jahat, dia panggil nama kita penuh. Perasan tak?
Betul.
That's when my mother regretted giving me my name. Panjang berjela.
Panjang lah susah nak sebut.
Okay, but that's the power of the name. Use the name, alright, and stop with this teacher Anis ke Sir Kamal punya structure. It's not right in English. You go anywhere in the world, people will call their teacher by their names, right? Miss something or Mrs. something or Puan something if in Malaysia. Okay. Awesome. All right. Any questions before I go into? We're almost at the end here. Ui, dah 10:30.
Itulah.
Bas, you all tanya banyak soalan, Bas. Any more? No.
Dia kata, how do we explain the tag? Don't in this sentence, Dia kata, you like durian, don't you? as compared to this, dia kata, you are a teacher, aren't you? So dia kata, explain the tag.
Explain the tag. Okay.
And dia kata,
Now,
the word do doesn't appear in the sentence.
What doesn't appear in the sentence?
As the word do doesn't appear in the sentence.
Tak clear lah the first word that you mentioned just now, Saiful. Macam breaking up.
Durian, don't you?
You like durian, don't you? Tadi. Oh, the word do is not in the sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, yes. Okay. For are and aren't is clear for us to use. The second example just now. What was the second example again?
You are a teacher, aren't you?
Okay. You are a teacher, aren't you? That is correct. Okay. Because in the statement we use are. So in the question tag we use aren't. Okay. Now you like durian. If you turn it into a question, it will be do you like durian? Right? Notice that if you change it into a question, it is do you like durian? So that's my answer to that one. So although in the statement you like durian, okay, you don't see the word do there, okay, but the tag will be don't you, because when you form it or you transform it into a question form, is do is the question that we'll pose. Okay, so that's my answer to that one. All right. Okay. Now, okay, we're almost at the end. Tips on how to speak and sound better in English. Number one, always pronounce the last syllable of the word in full. Okay, remember about kalkalah kubra. Okay, pronounce all the consonantal sounds, pronounce all the plosive. Okay, BAD is bad. Ada d sound, it's not bad. Okay, it's bad. Okay, break, tap, gap. Okay, the p sound, plosives, explosion. Ada that slight explosion coming out from your mouth when you pronounce the words. Okay, now there are some English words that come with two vowels, one next to each other. Bila ada two vowels, kalau you tengok some examples there, you elongate the vowel sound. Elongate here makes it longer. So R-E-A-C-H, ada two vowels there, E and A. So it's reach, reach versus reach. Short, reach, reach. Beach, beach. Now this is very important. You nak minta you're a guy and you nak minta permission from your parents to go to the beach. Alright, kena sebut betul-betul. They say, Mom, I want to go to the beach. Which beach? Alright, so I want to go to the beach. Okay, so that's the pantai. Feel versus feel. Peel versus peel. Okay, so with a singular vowel, quick pronunciation. With a double vowel, you elongate the pronunciation. So think of other words in English that is spelled like that. Regularly check pronunciation from online dictionaries. Okay, use headphones for clarity. Because sometimes bila you tekan, by the time nak dengar, dia dah sebut, you tak dengar betul-betul. There's no clarity in the pronunciation. Regularly is the key word here. Okay, bila tak sure, it's just at the tip of your finger. Alright, ramai orang sekarang pergi toilet pun bawa handphone. Okay, you can even check inside there. Please do. The thing now is like a lot of people, I mean, I'm included probably, I would say like, whatever you say, kalau you are still saying that your English is poor apa semua, ask yourself, are those reasons or are those excuses? Because there's so much material online nowadays for us to very, very quickly self-learn, inshallah. Okay, listen to yourself speaking. Now, as I'm doing this session, I am very much aware of my own voice. So kalau notice tadi ada a few times, I'm a Malaysian. English is my second language. It's not my first language. But when I make pronunciation mistakes, if I make grammatical mistakes, kalau you all notice tadi, ada a few times I corrected myself. Why could I do that? Because I was listening to my own voice. So I know when I make the mistake and what to do after that, right? Get your English input, listen and not hear. Remember about the TV tadi, I mentioned, kuatkan the volume, okay? Switch off the subtitles, Okay, ni the Astro Ultra ni nak keluar je subtitle tu almost automatically. Switch it off. You can switch it off. Alright. Listen to the language. You'll enjoy the language better rather than just hear the sound of the language generally macam tu. Take your time, don't rush. Remember, kalau baca Qul Huwallah guna prinsipal qalqalah kubra, boleh laju ke baca Qul Huwallah? Tak boleh kan? Alright, the same rule with English. English is a slow language because it focuses a lot on correct, precise pronunciation. Okay, and in English ini just to share lah. In English ni, kalau especially ada vowel sound tu, dia boleh we combine the sound. So in English kalau ada, if I say go, I tak say go to it, I will say it as go to it. Almost macam ada W in the middle of that. Go to it. Find it. Yes, find it. Okay, cut out. Bukan cut out, cut out. Okay, so once you get the fluency in English, you start doing that. Oh, lagi satu just nak share with all of you ya. My colleague is good into this one. In English, Mak Saleh, kalau you notice, ada words yang ada T kat tengah, dia tak pronounce the T tau. Dia change it to the D sound. Okay, example, D-A-T-A. How do you guys pronounce D-A-T-A?
Data. Data.
Okay, now the truth, how do you normally pronounce it?
Data. Data
or data?
Data. Okay,
now most Malaysians pronounce it as data. Jangan tipu, okay? Most Malaysians pronounce it as data. Now, it's not the wrong pronunciation. Sebab BM kita pronounce it as data kan? We have the word in BM now. Now, DATA in English, you can pronounce it as data. And guess what? When you pronounce it as data, it's not British English. It's American English. British English is data. Okay, tapi apa yang nak cerita tadi? Mak Saleh, they won't probably pronounce it as data even. It becomes data. Computer. Not computer, computer. Data. Right? Ini kalau nak bagi orang menyam dengan kita bila kita cakap English, buatlah macam tu. Right? So why not? Kan? Be proud.
Commuter.
Commuter, yes. Commuter. This one, I just want to very share lah. Yang I've mentioned this. Kita impose BM punya sound system into English. We cannot do that. Kalau you tengok BM punya sound system, A will always make the sound R. I'm talking about standard BM ya, bukan KL. Alright? A will always be R. Kita, ada, masa. Okay? However, in English, the A sound can be very different. Apple, A. Father, A. And then we have the article, Okay? So yang tadi data. Okay? Data is American English. Data or data is British English. Okay? Some vowel sounds are silenced in English. In BM kita sebut semua. That is the pronunciation rule in BM. But in English, some vowel sounds are silenced. Example, that word is not vogue. It's vogue. Alright? So orang kata kenapa lah susah payah pergi eja VOGUE nak sebut vogue. VOG dah lah. I won't be surprised. In the near future, probably English will change that to just VOG. Right? Dah jadi WhatsApp language dah, tak lama lagi language. Alright? Okay, this one, some English words have two vowels. I've mentioned that about beach and beach tadi. Alright, excuse the example. And then there are a lot of borrowed words from other languages. From French, from Latin, from BM. Tahu tak? BM ada in English now. Okay? But the pronunciation has changed because it has gone into a new sound system. Kita sebut kampung. In English dictionaries now, ada the word, but the spelling is different. K-A-M-P-O-N-G is pronounced as kampong. Alright? That's sampan. Kita panggil sampan. Okay, in English, it will pronounce as sampan orang utan. Kita sebut orang utan. Amok.
Orang
Alright.
orang hutan tu bukan disebut orangutan.
Orang utan. Orang utan.
Kan? Orang hutan kan disebut
Orang
macam
utan.
orangutan.
Because that is the pronunciation in English. They spell it and then they pronounce it the way they would pronounce it in English. So there would be the slight changes there. Alright. So sebenarnya it's okay kita mispronounce sikit-sikit tu tak apa. Alright. But the worry is that my experience when I was overseas, I really had a lot of communication problems because I was using English, tapi because the sounding of the word tu was not precise, was not accurate. Mak Saleh terus macam, sorry, can you repeat that? Can you say it slowly? Can you spell the word? Okay, aku pun spell lah the word dekat diorang, right? And then they pronounce the word. Dalam hati Malaysian as usual lah, sama lah yang aku sebut tadi tu. Okay?
Betul.
But to them it's not the same sound. Okay, now for all of you, okay, kalau ada questions lagi, I'll take right at the end here. I know past your time, I'm so sorry everyone, just my passion about English ni. Some value added for all of you yang stayed on kat sini, okay. Now, our company, Consular Consulting, okay, we have our Telegram education channel, okay. For your information, masa MCO, PKP, the first time, we were so bored staying at home. So we created this English at home series, okay. So all of you here, and it's free, yeah, it's free, knowledge is for sharing. Please go to your Telegram app, search for our company's name, Consular Consulting, and just join, okay, and you'll get all the updates. We try as often as we can to update a lot on pronunciation, those that I've covered here ada kat dalam tu, and probably a lot more ada dalam tu, as well as some parts of grammar as well. We have our YouTube education channel as well, again dedicated to English, but I have to admit baru nak bermanja-manja dengan YouTube, okay. So we only have 2 or 3 currently, but we are in the process of developing a lot more for us to upload soon on YouTube. So if you subscribe to our channel, you'll get all the updates. Sorry. And again, free, keyword dia, free, F-R-E-E. Itu pronounce, itu semua orang tahu pronounce, free. Okay. And for your writing, everyone, to improve your writing, download this one. Grammarly keyboard, highly recommended by me personally, by Consular Consulting. All right, Grammarly keyboard app on all your devices, your phone, your laptops and stuff like that, because it will help you. You can switch it on and off. It will take over your keyboard basically, and it not only correct your grammar, not only correct your spelling, it also gives suggestions of structures for you. Okay, that's the beauty of Grammarly. Kalau you nak reply to an email, bila you type saja thank, okay, thank bukan thank, thank, dia probably dah keluar suggestion. Thank you for your email. Dah ada kat sana. So you click on that one, it will insert into your text. Powerful. If you ask me, as someone who studies the language a lot, Grammarly keyboard currently is the best app to help you in your writing in English. Okay, let me stop there, guys.
Last question ni.
Yes, let's go for the questions.
Kita bagi last round kat dia.
Okay.
If the sentence kata, you change the report, right? Dia kata, is this correct?
Can you repeat that, Saiful? You?
In the sentence, dia kata, you change the report, right? The question mark. Dia kata, is this correct?
Okay, all right. Now it's correct, but the way you write it, well, basically the way you write it and the way you pronounce ada similarity there. Yeah? The way you write that question is you changed the report, comma, right, question mark. There must be a comma before right.
Yes.
So when you ask the question, you change the report, there must be a pause, right? Okay, you change the report, right? Kita jangan kata one shot macam you change the report, right? No, you change the report, right? Okay, the comma indicates a pause. Remember that. There's a reason why we have all those commas, full stop. Comma, short pause, full stop, a longer pause. Okay, right.
Okay.
So it is correct. The answer, it is correct. Yes. Any more questions?
That will be all for now. First round ni. Wah, first round.
Okay.
First round 2 jam.
Very good.
Oh.
Itulah dia. Dah cakap dah tadi. Jangan percaya Ismaz Aziz ni.
But like I said to Ismaz tadi, so it's considered normal lah sebenarnya. When we have interesting topic dekat SiffoTime ni.
Okay,
Memang kita selalu overrun.
Alright. Well, I still want to apologize to everyone if I take too much of your time. But
no worries.
you know, we are all adults, all right? Your time, you own your own time, so you could have left earlier if you don't want to be here. So I assume those who are still with us today are those who are interested, who like to find out more, right? And I really appreciate that. Okay, really appreciate that.
Nak share sikit boleh ke?
Please do, Sohaila.
Nak tutup dah ni. Last time masa belajar, dekat sini kita panggil beg kertas kan, we call it paper bag kertas. Tapi in US they don't call it bag kertas, dia orang panggil sack. Sack dekat sini guni. So masa beli
I didn't know that. They call it sack, yeah?
In my place. In my place dekat Iowa State University.
You kat mana so?
Iowa State. They call it sack. So beli cookies and then pergi dekat that shop. I said, do you need a sack? I'm like, dia nak suruh I bawa dalam guni ke? Masa tu baru sampai kan macam, sack no. Oh, you want to carry? Oh, yeah. Lepas tu aku macam, sack tu rupanya beg kertas, which I do not know.
I was there, tapi I tak lama. I was 3 months dekat US tu, tak sempat to pick that one up.
And then, sorry.
No, get on.
Coca-Cola, anything that frizzy drinks or whatever, they call it a pop drink. Masa kita kerja dekat Burger King, any pop drink that you want, dia tak akan tanya macam tu. So bila macam pop drink, I'm like, what is pop drink? Pop is soda, dia kata. Pop is soda. Any soda, barulah bos saya cakap, soda drink, soda. Baru saya tahu, pop drinks tu is a soda drink. So kalau you pergi kat tempat macam places like that lah, kena tahu dia punya apa phrases yang dia nak guna.
I mean saying that, so I would like to say kalau ada parents kat sini, kalau ada rezeki, anak can go overseas, laki ke perempuan, let them go. These are the little experiences that will make their life different. Okay, so different cultures.
So my children that
how they do different languages, insyaAllah. Kalau tak boleh study, holiday tu pun, you know, you can experience all these different things as well.
Correct. I agree.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, SiffoTime. Thank you, Saiful. Thank you, Sohaila. Really appreciate it.
Welcome.
InsyaAllah kita boleh work together again.
Yes, I hope this is not the last.
Yes.
This is the beginning.
Please continue.
Yes.
Would be my pleasure. Just let me know.
Awesome.
Tapi Saiful, janganlah last minute sangat.
Tak apa. Dia kadang-kadang, no. Dia kata ilham tu sampai lambat.
Azmi Bakar. Thank you, Azmi. Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you. So, hope to see you all again, insyaAllah. Next time, bersama dengan Siffu Ismaz ni. So, Ismaz, siapa yang dah pernah appear kat SiffoTime tu panggil Siffu ke? So they were granted the word Siffu.
Nama aku dah lah panjang, kau nak tambah Siffu kat depan lagi. Aduhai.
Siffu is lah jadinya.
Makin pendek
gitu.
Okay. So see you again insyaAllah.
See you. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. Stay safe everyone. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Bye bye.